Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Bigger Warriors 2 in the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are on your purpose. Hope you guys are conquesting everything around you, thereby conquesting yourself and everything around you under God's purposes. So, hope you guys are doing well. Always a pleasure. Thank you guys for the comments. Always for the feedback. Great comments of late. Great feedback, great topics. We're going to cover a lot of them as we go through. Tonight I'm going to focus on dating and semen retention. We have lots of different comments on that. I also want to make a comment about one of the, Martin just had an interesting comment that I want to talk about a little bit as well. Let's do some shout-outs real fast before we do that. Nkanyiso Sarage, the Book of Enoch. We're going to talk about that a little bit at one point. Charles Peake had 918 days. And this is a few weeks ago. So keep going, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Dr. Von Life's investing. How's the 6-pack coming? I got about a 4.5-pack. I'm getting closer, my friends. Getting closer, but I got to lose a little more weight. We're getting there. Light in the dark. Oleg. Thank you, my friend. GGG. Thank you. JC Kennedy. J Flix. Giovanni. Old time friend. Thank you, Giovanni. Greg Thompson. Light in the dark again. Jon the Dawn. Another old time friend. Psychomantic, thank you. Oleg again, and John Jennings. Thank you guys for all your great comments. I'm getting through these little by little. We have a lot of these that I have to catch up with as well. So I appreciate you guys' feedback and comments. All right, 1 minute and about 40 seconds here. Let's kind of talk about this. So there's a number of comments on here we want to talk about. Let's go back first with something that Martin said. And he said in a email, he said, there's a contradiction here. And from the outside looking in, you could see what he's talking about. He's talking about the fact that why is it that when you have energy like you do, you're going to attract animals, people to you, things like that. But then some people are not going to like that. They're going to reject you, and they're not going to be attracted to you. And he's a good point that Martin's making here. But also remember now that we're bodies of energy. We are energy, matter, energy as far as our spirit goes. All of this is energy. So other beings around us are reacting to us based on our energy. That's important to realize, because we're not talking about the physical person here. We're talking about everything we are is made of energy, matter, and you can't destroy matter. You can't create matter. It just transfers. So it's energy. So as you have energy, you are reacting to energy from other people. And a lot of it is magnetized. So basically, you're a magnet for other people. They're a magnet for you. So there's going to be lots of people that are going to be attracted to your energy. And then there's going to be people who are not attracted to your energy. They're going to feel your energy. There's a big difference there. They're going to feel your energy because you're retaining, but you're not really going to attract them in a way that you want to attract them. And that's okay. Because those people are probably people you don't want in your life. They're not really people who believe in retention. They're probably not people who really understand what you're doing. And as a result of that, they're not going to help you achieve your goals. They're not going to help you with your purpose. And that's what you really want to do. You want to find people in your life that are going to help you with your purpose, help you with your goals, and be someone who's going to contribute things to you, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. And so you want to continue keeping that as long as you can. So as we talk about this, we're talking about the idea of then dating. And once again, finding people in your life that are positive. Finding people that are going to go ahead and create positive types of things and help you achieve your goals. So lots of questions we've had in this category, so I kind of bundled them together. So questions like, how do you handle breakups? How do you handle hit and run women? My voice talked about this. Staying continually emotionally distanced. A good point from my voice. Dating apps. Redline Eliminator had a question about that. Really, do you like those? Women who ignore you but really like you. Let's kind of talk about that a little bit. And then also, if we are here to procreate, AJ Dynamo had a question. If we're here to procreate, what does it mean if we don't find a woman? All right, let's talk about all these. So first of all, let's talk about how to handle breakups. Well, first of all, we have to realize that not every person we're in contact with who is someone who likes us, who we're interested in, are necessarily going to be people who are going to be someone that's going to help you with your goals. It's not always going to be somebody, they may look attractive, but like we always talk about, just because it glitters doesn't mean it's gold. So that person may be somebody you don't really need to have in your life in the long term. And maybe a person's too negative. Maybe they're just not seeing things the way you see things. And so you're going to have some sort of level of breakup. Now, it is not an easy thing to do. It happened to me several times in my lifetime, and it's not easy. It's hard. Breakups are not going to be easy, but they're going to make you grow. And again, if you have that stoic attitude of not being too attached to anything, but giving the best you can give, then you let things fall as they do. And sometimes if people are meant to be with you and God wants that to happen, he's going to find a way. And so life becomes easier if you give it up to God, your creator, and basically say, okay, we're going to do the best we can, but we're going to let the chips fall where they may. And if this person continues to be in our life, then it's something that we need to kind of look at. If they don't, well, then that was meant to be as well. Now, that's not an easy pill to swallow, warriors. That's not easy to handle. But once again, you do not want to let the breakup destroy you. And what I mean by destroy you is get you off your purpose. You don't want that to move you out of that realm. And certainly you don't want that to go ahead and have you start going into bad behaviors. You don't want that to go into having you releasing. You don't want to have that go into drug abuse, anything like that, or going into gambling, anything like that, overeating, which people do when they break up. They get depressed, they get upset. Try not to allow this to influence you to that level. And one of the ways to do that is to basically say that this relationship is great, but it's not my highest priority. Now, you may get some flack from the young lady about this, but just remember that she's going to respect you more if you have a life of your own. If you're going to you're going to be desperate for her only, and you're going to revolve your life around her, the breakup's going to happen at some point very quickly. Or it's just not going to be a happy relationship. Because women, for the most part, and from my experiences at least, they want a man to have their own life, to be able to have leadership so that they can be part of that man's life. Now, if you're always wrapped up in her life, she may like that for a while, but it's not a long-term situation, and you're going to become less of a man as time goes on. And now if you're releasing on top of that, all of a sudden now all that energy is being sucked away from you. Now you're becoming less and less. All right, so that's one of the things to talk about. Now, the other question we talked about is how to handle hit and run women. My voice, one of our viewers asked about that. Again, when you look at the situation, remember that women, even though we talk about this idea that men are out there pursuing women, which is what you should never do, this is the society norm that people look at. That it's almost like I call that Disney model, that prince is supposed to go after the princess, save the princess, and do everything they can to make the princess happy. Well, in the long run, many women don't want that. And the women who do want that, they basically only want that for a short period of time. They're going to get tired or bored with that, and they're going to lose respect for the man. But the man has to understand how this operates. Women are going to try to attract you to them. They love the attention. They love the validation. And they're wonderful, wonderful beings. Women are wonderful, but you got to look at it in the right perspective. They're going to want your attention. You're going to have this situation where they're going to hit and run you. They're going to give you attention. They'll take it away. And a lot of times men can't deal with what's happening. All of a sudden she was paying a lot of attention to me. She's involved with it. And all of a sudden now she's backing away. It's a tendency for a lot of women to do because they're thinking about things, they're emotional, they're swaying back and forth, and a lot of times they're using this as tests for you as well. But what you got to do is remember to always stay stoic to the level where you're detached to some degree in a relationship. Never be attached to the person you're with, no matter who it is. I don't care if it's male or female. You don't attach yourself to the person. You run your own life. And you have this relationship that's going to hopefully supplement that in your life. If you make that relationship your whole life, you're going to find yourself getting upset, frustrated many times because that person's not going to do everything you want them to do. And you probably wouldn't want that person to do that anyway. Because in the long run, you want that person to be their own person. That's how we all should be. And we're enjoying spending time with each other at times, but really you want a person to be independent, and you don't want to really be controlling. Those people who are controlling, they have some insecurity issues behind the scenes. That's why they're controlling people. So the hit and run situation, you should not let it bother you. Once again, be stoic. Be at the point where you can deal with it, but then get to the point of saying, okay, I'm going to move on. And if you want to play those kind of games, then I'm just going to go on myself. Staying emotionally distanced, my voice is right on target with that. You've got it. You can have intimacy, you can have affection, but you can also be, you can also stay away emotionally enough that you're not going to put yourself in a position where you become thirsty and you're desperate and all you're thinking about is the woman. That is an unhealthy situation to be in my opinion. You want to be in a situation where you're progressing, you're getting better every day, and this woman is coming along and she wants to be part of your life. You don't want to get sucked in to the point, and this happens a lot because of the physical attraction that women are. Men are very visually oriented. They will get sucked into situations, and all of a sudden now everything is about the woman, and she may like that for a while. It gives her a level of control as well. But now you've lost control in that situation. The woman is now in control of you, and now you will eventually get upset. You'll get frustrated. The woman will not be happy as well, because that's not, in my opinion, the order of things it should be. The man needs to be a leader of the relationship. The woman is there to nurture a relationship as well and have intimacy in those type of things. And that's important in a situation. So if you're not in those type of situations, you can suspect there's going to be a lot of frustration for both the male and the female because they're playing roles that they really inherently know they shouldn't be playing. Dating apps, Redline asked about this. And I remember now I'm 63, guys. I'm old timer. I feel like if dating situations I'm seeing and I'm hearing from people really are just very, illusionary, fake types of things. Tinder, these things you're trying to match people with, that it doesn't work in the long run. Most cases, now I know a lot of people start off by dating online and things like that. But remember, because we're in a world of technology, what's that doing is eliminating the one-to-one communication and being with the person, right with the person. Therefore, what you got to do is got to create that situation where you're feeling that energy of that person. You're understanding where this person's coming from, and are you compatible, and is that person going to be someone who is going to help you achieve your goals? This is the bottom line. If you can find that person on a dating app, that's great. I would not use the dating apps even if modern times. I suggest that to a lot of the students and people that I work with all the time. I wouldn't suggest that. I think that you're better off trying to find somebody at at the grocery store a lot of times and trying to match somebody on a dating app. I think that's more for profit-making types of things that people use to try to get you involved. And now you're seeing a lot of people out there, and a lot of people are faking their images. They're not really real on there. You got these catfish type of things going on. And you're really not focusing really on the person really appeal. You don't know who the person really is unless you sit down and meet them. And a lot of times they don't want to meet until you actually get to the point where you're actually having some kind of date, and then you're kind of wasted a lot of your time at this point. Remember, guys, you don't have a lot of time to waste. You have things to do. You have your warriors. You have things to achieve in your life. You have no time to sit there and waste on dating apps. So I would not recommend it. That's just my opinion, bud. My opinion now. Women who ignore you but really like you. This is Elduderinaunemployed. So great question you're talking about. And this is something that does take some introspective and some observation. So you're going to run into a lot of situations where your energy is so strong that you're going to basically kind of intimidate a young lady. And that's happened to me many, many times. In fact, there's situations now that I see it as well, that person, they will show you signs that they like you, but they can't tell you, or they're trying to hide it. Now remember, 93% of communication, in my opinion, is nonverbal. It's not the verbal things people are telling you. So women may not tell you they like you, but they will show you in different ways. They'll give you things. They'll play with their hair. They'll look at different things where they'll feel that tension that comes from that energy. So subconsciously, they'll be drawn to you. Now, whether or not they continue acting like that, maybe they don't even realize the attraction they have as well at this point in the situation. Maybe at their age or whatever point they are in a relationship, maybe they have somebody else, or they don't realize how they're actually feeling. But they realize that they want to stay connected to you. And it's all about connections. Doesn't matter if you're married or not. Doesn't matter anything. It's all about the energy connection. If a person feels connected, they're going to connect with you no matter where you are in the country, where you're in the world. They're going to still connect with you. Now, it may not be a relationship, but it may be some sort of an acquaintance or a friendship or something like that. So because they're attracted to your energy, they're attracted to who you are, these type of people are going to be in your life a lot. They're not going to show you that they like you. Now, if you're married like myself, who's not really interested in any kind of, affairs, relationships, then it's a flattering thing, and that's all it really is to me. So in that kind of case, I have to kind of push people away in some cases to kind of not move to any kind of level that I would kind of deem inappropriate. But it happens. It happens because people have those feelings, those attractions. So, what I obviously try to do is try to kind of, respect the feelings, understand the feelings, but also try to say and decline in certain ways so that I don't get involved and a temptation doesn't become strong enough that it doesn't really kind of affect me. It's not always easy to do, but that's something you have to do in my kind of situation. And those people in the audience who are married understand that. We understand that situation. Now, if you're single and you're looking for relationships, again, use some of the same kind of strategy. You're going to have to kind of discern who people are that's going to be people that are interesting to you, people that are going to help you in the situation and help achieve your goals. Those type of people you want to continue being with. But remember, again, every time you attract somebody, there's always going to be the temptation there to, have intercourse, to get intimate, and to basically release. So you're going to have to kind of work through that a little bit to say, okay, is this person, do I really want this person in my life? Is it somebody who's going to make me happy? Is it somebody who's going to help me achieve my goals? That's the type of thing you're looking at. So I think when you talk about this, it's very good from a nonverbal sense to read nonverbal behavior, understand what it means, look at this person and realize, okay, they're standing in front of you. They're not looking at you. They can't have eye contact with you, but they like you. Those are signs, right? If they can't really have that, it may look like they don't really care about you, but it's obviously the opposite. Because if the person is doing things and their actions show they're doing things, they're staying in contact, they're talking to you at times when they can, they focus on you, they have an interest. Remember, guys, the opposite, in my opinion, the opposite of love is not hate. Hate takes energy. This takes energy just to keep in contact with a person. If you're making contact, that means you have a vested interest in the person. So I've seen couples, lots of times I help people over the years in counseling, whether it was divorced people or separated people, it always comes down to the same thing. If you have enough emotion and energy invested to hate a person a certain period of time, you actually still have feelings for that person. They just happen to be very bad feelings at the moment. But they can switch to very, very good feelings at any moment as well. And that's why you have a lot of these hot and cold relationships where a person, they get along 1 minute, next minute they're fighting, they're getting along again, and then they're fighting. Because they have that energy that's consistent. The opposite of love is apathy. I don't care anymore at all, and I don't care what you do. That's the sign the relationship is really over with people. So it doesn't matter if you've been with a person in 30 years ago. That person still feels connected to you, especially if you're having intercourse with the person. That's why we talk about when people have multiple partners, they still have an energy connection. They've always have. Now, that person, you may forget about the person for a while, but there's still the connection. And every so often you'll think about the person because the person may be thinking about you too. And all of a sudden, they have that connection. So whenever you have intercourse with somebody, that person, in my opinion, never truly leaves you, But they may, at times come back in your life even at times. And you've seen that happen many, many times where people do that over the years. But the thing is, remember, as you do this, remember reading nonverbal signs can help you a lot navigate what you're going to do. You're not going to be caught by surprise if all of a sudden this person starts talking to you more and they become a little more confident and they want to kind of, flirt with you more and things like that. You have to be careful of that stuff because all of a sudden now you're tempted. Even people who are single need to be careful. They're not going to get into more of an intimate situation where they don't want to. I know this is a little bit longer, but I'm going to focus on some of these questions to kind of do it. So, the last question, AJ had a good question. If we're here to procreate, which is really what we're talking about here, you're trying to procreate, that's the key thing. But you can also have copulation and you can also have relations with somebody, not release, which is really what a lot of research is showing that I've been looking at, talking about that's the essence of connecting a union between a man and woman. They're not releasing, but they're also having an intimacy. That's important. So AJ's asking, what does it mean if you don't have a woman? So it's an interesting type of question you're talking about. I think AJ brings up a good point. Because on the outside, it appears like, okay, if you don't have a woman, then basically you're at a point where you're not following God's purposes. So here is my thoughts on all this, because I've kind of gone through this over the years. I think most of us, because of the physical nature of women and the visual pictures we see, most men, they push the envelope too quickly. What I mean by that is they're pushing to find someone so much that they get in relationships they really shouldn't be in. And that goes back to a lack of faith in your Creator. Most men don't have that faith. So they're not going to be patient to wait for the right type of woman to make that connection. So a lot of times men will get into, one night situations with lots of women, not realizing that one of these women could be somebody you could have a long-term relationship with and have a child with. But because of that, what happens is that if you're sleeping with lots of people, now your soul, in my opinion, your spirit, your energy is now being dispersed in lots of different ways, and you're not going to be strong in any kind of situation. And then having a relationship with one person is going to be hard because the trust level is not the same. Your energy is all over the place with other people. And so now you have a lot of other people who are still in your life in certain ways, and you're not getting out of that. This is why all the religious texts, things that I've always read, talks about the fact that you should have one person, right? My case, I had two people, one before I got married and one and now one married. I think it's important to focus on your energy, and even after you have your children, you're going back to levels of semen retention. You're going back to celibacy to some level. Doesn't mean necessarily you can't have intimacy still. That's the hard part. But that takes self-control. That takes an ability to be able to control who you are. And again, going back to the comment we're talking about here, is that understanding the idea that it's okay to be alone. It's okay to be, doesn't mean you failed. If God's purpose is for you to be alone and be a role model for young men or young women, depending if you're a man or woman, and you're helping other people out, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be married. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to have children. But God has a purpose for each one of us and the Creator. And the Creator has a purpose for each one of us, and we need to follow that. So I think AJ brings up a good question, but don't get down on yourself. Don't get hard, upset with yourself if you failed because you don't have a woman at this moment in time. Once again, having that faith in your Creator, you will eventually find that woman. You'll find that person. God will give you that person to procreate with. That's the key thing to think about here. I wouldn't give it a second thought. Again, what I would do is focus on your goals, focus on who you are, focus on being the best person, the highest value male you can become, and the women will come around you. And now you have that strong communication with your Creator, meditating, transmuting your energy, and figuring out which one of these people are the person that I really want to kind of spend time with and eventually procreate with. And that's a whole different type of discussion than we see out there right now, where people want to kind of flaunt the sexuality around. They want to flaunt everything they have. And basically, I think they're destroying themselves. We talked about that in a previous video. They're basically destroying themselves. They're sucking their energy forces out of each other and getting nothing in return, and they're not even procreating. In fact, they're stopping the procreation process in many ways as well. All right, my friends, so I hope this was a long one, about 25 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Lots of great questions. Thanks again to My Voice, Redline Eliminator, Elduderinaunemployed, AJ Dynamo, and a bunch of other people that we talked. Martin, thank you as well. I try to bundle these together so we get more out of each package of it. I think we're going to go next time and talk about a separate topic. Talk to women during the day instead of at night. This is from SR9207, so we'll talk about that in our next one as well. All right, my friends, so until then, always remember two things from Vigor Warrior 2. One, every day is a new day to a great warrior, and you guys are each great warriors. And number two, guys, you know the battle cry is going to come here. We are in a battle. No matter what situation you're in, always beware. In many armies, wars, the hardest part is after you win the victory. That's the time that you're the weakest. So you got to be careful that at every moment, even if you have successes, always be careful of the evil one attacking you through a lot of temptation. So because of that, we always have to continue to battle on! Good night, guys.